I have given the, I'll tell you more detail in the context. Suppose this is, suppose you have, suppose this is your file. Suppose your file is having this content, right? Okay. Okay, cut the number of character. What is the command? Cut number of character. Okay, suppose I say some input. I say I want to cut 5 character. Okay. So my file is, I just take example, test.txt is my file. Okay. And I say some words. If my input is just I'm saying hard coded value. I'm saying just 5. I'm saying you
Yeah.
just giving here the number of characters 5 characters, 5 characters, number of characters 5. Okay. So this one,
Okay.
this is your question. The 5 character you have to cut. So I want my output this hello only. So after this, the result, I want hello. So when I look at file, if I do cat command, so I do cat command and I will see this output. So first initially the output input will be, this is the content of my file. I'm just saying example, okay? So whatever it is, it could be anything. Okay, it is not necessary, it should be the same. My question is like I want after when I cut, right? I say like my output should become like this. Okay, my
Okay.
input file is
Yeah.
this in the same file. I don't want to allow you to create a new file. I want when I say the same name of the file, like same test.txt. So initially I will see my file before the command. I should see this input, like this content, and after the command, when you run the command, I should see this out, this content. Now
Okay.
you got it.
Yeah, I do. Thank you.
Okay. So you just think about it, like which command is, and it should not any unique Hadoop command you have to use. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this is clear.
So, so do you want us to display all three hellos or?
No, this is just example. I say anything is there, right? Whatever your content, I say first 5 I need. Suppose
Okay.
this thing. Okay. So TASTI I want.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
That's my, so whatever it is, like okay. But it should come first 5.
Okay. Sure. Arun.
Okay. So any question anyone has in the internal table and external table, right? Yesterday we did the practical of internal and external table, like how to create a table, how to drop table, how to, can anyone tell me how I can see the create table syntax for any table? Suppose my table name is my table and I want to see the create table command syntax, right? How create table syntax looks like for this my table. How can I see? What is the command in hive? What command I will write in hive? I want to see the location of the table, the default location, if it is the internal, if it is the external, so external location I want to see. I want to see the field names, everything I want to see complete.
So describe DESC.
Okay, if I like describe
DESC space
my table.
my table.
If I do this, it will be giving me like name is a string, okay, and ID is an integer. It will give like this. It is not a create table syntax, right? This is not a
Okay.
create
Okay.
table syntax. So create table syntax will come by show create table command. The command name in the hive shell when you write show
Sure.
create table my table. It will give you the complete syntax like this, create table, my table, and this is like this. I will get the bracket will come for it. So complete create table syntax will come like this. Okay, so that is a way to get the show. Okay, can you tell me, I want to run any Hadoop command on the Hive terminal. I want to use Hadoop fs minus ls and some directory I will do. So what should I write in the Hive shell? So I have to write a command Hadoop fs minus ls.
Then you you put an explanation in front of Hadoop.
Okay, here. Okay.
Yeah, like that, and then your Hadoop command. So Hadoop fs dash ls.
So exclamation Hadoop fs minus ls and the slash
Slash.
will direct.
Yeah.
Okay, that is correct. So we can use exclamation sign. Suppose I want to load the data in Hadoop file system or Hive table. I want to load the data. So how many ways are there? Okay. And tell the how many ways are there. Like suppose I want to write the data in Hive table. I want to load the data in Hive table from any directory. Like my directory is a local file system is slash home slash some test.txt or test.csv file is there. Okay, and I want to write into data in my table. How I will write? What will be the command? And what are the different ways are there to write any files data into Hive table?
So we write by delimiting fields
We write delimiting field. How?
terminated by commas.
No, already table has the data, comma delimited field is there.
Okay, okay.
No, table doesn't have, right? Suppose CSV file has the data and I want to load, table is empty, right? Suppose I say ID, okay, name, age, 1x 21, 2y 33. So this data I want to show in the, I want to load into table. Table is empty. So how I will do? Like I should get the data in the tabular form when I do select.
So create
star,
table name.
create.
Create table name, row format, delimited fields.
That is, you are saying creating a table is schema, that you are saying is schema to create, like create table name, okay, and then you say the field, right? You say
Yes,
ID
yes.
integer, okay, and name is a string and age is the integer, and then you say row format delimited, row format, uh, row format sorted, right? And field
Okay, so I got it what you're asking. So we should write load data and we need to give the local storage path.
So what command I will do? Load,
Load data local
okay,
uh, in path
okay, in path.
and the path name. I mean home arvin test.csv
Test CSV.
into table any table name like sample or something.
Correct, correct. So this is the one way. Okay. Can you tell me the alternate way if I don't do with this?
Mm,
This is the one way. Yeah, that is correct. This is the one way. And then suppose this file is not in the local file system and this file is in the, suppose some test slash test.csv. This is my Hadoop path. In that case, what will be the change in this command? Command will be similar to this, but some change in this command because this path will become Hadoop path. Suppose your file is not in the local file system like this. It is something like test slash test.csv. So I have to change here path. Okay. But something I have to change here. Can anyone tell what to do? If my file is in the Hadoop file system.
Then I guess we need to give the location. I mean, the word
Location is
location.
already there. This is the location only, Hadoop file location. I'm saying this is all correct.
Okay.
This is all correct, but something will be done here, this part. Something will be done.
Can you do like insert instead of load? Or no?
Insert is always from the table to table.
Okay, okay.
But we cannot do at all because insert is like one source and another one is a target. Okay. Simple, local we will not use. Actually, whenever we are using Hadoop to Hadoop, right? Like Hadoop file system file to the table in Hadoop hive. So we remove local. This local meaning is the file path is from your local file system path, like your Ubuntu file system path, local file. So this local keyword we don't need to use, only in path will come. Otherwise,
Okay.
if you try with local and try with Hadoop path, so it will be searching this path in your Ubuntu, but definitely this path will not there. No path start with the test, right? Every path is starting /home something, right? Okay, because all directory path in the Ubuntu or some path are there like /usr those are the system folders, right? Okay, but actual development folders are this /home will start because /home and Arvind is the home user directory. Everything inside this /home Arvind, right? Okay, but some path also there where your jars libraries are there like /usr. These are the like usr is a one is a slash what is that system, and some bin is there like something, some different path are there, but that you will get my computer. Okay, but actual Hadoop the development, like I say, like user directory, that is the only one. Is okay. Everybody has his username one, right? Everybody's. So load data path, it will, if you're trying to do, it will not find that path. Okay. Or if you are trying a load data path and you are giving /home, so it will not search the in Hadoop this path. So it's a vice versa. Okay. So you just make sure the syncing, right? Like local with local path and without local Hadoop path, right? So this sync should be there between the path and the keyword. Okay, right? Okay, so I was asking another way, right, to load the data from the local file system. So do you remember, right, in the hive shell we can use the, or anywhere, like just Hadoop put command we can use Hadoop fs minus put. So Hadoop fs minus put, and we can write the file. Suppose my file is this file test.csv. If I directly write in the table location, my table location, if it is an internal table, what will be the location? User hive warehouse, right? This is my internal table location, I know. Okay, and there is some database folder will be there. Suppose my database name is mydb.db slash, and my table name is my table. Okay, so my table is this location. If I write this file here, if I put this file, so this load data local in path also doing the same job, but it is doing with the hive command. This is doing with the hive command. Okay, but this is not a hive command. This is a Hadoop command. I'm running in the hive shell, but this is a Hadoop command, right? This is not a hive command. So one way is using the hive command. You can write a file by using the load data local command. But another command is a Hadoop command. Just put a file on the same location, your data will be there. Okay. So these are the two ways are there, the different, but load data local or load data in path, this is in hive command, two different ways to load data. One is local file system, one is a Hadoop file system to load the data. Okay, but command is same. Load data command is same. Both command name is the load data, right? Both command name is a load data. But this Hadoop command is a different way. And the same Hadoop command you can use. Generally for this, you don't use the Hadoop command when you are putting data from Hadoop to Hadoop. In that you will use CP command. You will use CP command, and you will get the your location is suppose in the some other location you data you have some test location test one folder, and suppose generally you will not load the data in the warehouse directly like this. You will be having a some table is having also one location, some test slash my table. This location you have defined in your table location, you define this. So you will be writing Hadoop to Hadoop by CP command. Just remember CP command. So CP command you will use. Okay. So both are having the Hadoop command alternate is there. For load data alternate is there Hadoop FS, but that is local file system to Hadoop file system. Okay. This is for internal table. And for external table where you are writing data, you can write external table also Hadoop to Hadoop, because all paths are Hadoop. This path is Hadoop, this path is a Hadoop, this path is Hadoop, right? All are this Hadoop, right? So whenever you know, you can guess it, right? Your file where it is. If your file is local file system, definitely you will use put command. If your file is in the some other Hadoop path and you want to write this path or any other Hadoop path, so you will use CP command. Okay. So this thing you should already know, right? Because what you are going to do, you should know. Okay. Fetch there, Lakshman. Okay. So did you understand this? This is clear, right? Okay.
Yep.
See, these differences are very important because command looks like doing the similar type of job, but we should know the alternate things, right? When we can use this, when we can use this. Okay. So yesterday I told about like internal external table practice, right? How to how to create a table. So today I'm telling about partitioning. Okay. So partitioning is a concept in Hive. We already seen the partitioning in the MapReduce. Okay. If you have enrolled the course, right, I gave the complete MapReduce course. You can, it's a complete course in the academy. Okay. So, so Hive we writing a select query, right? Right, we select query. Even we can do the update delete queries, but update delete queries are not a default, right? You can do update delete. So we have to set some configuration property. Okay, like I want to update the data in the table or delete the data in the table. Okay, but select is the default, right? So select queries when we write, so we writing some where clause. Okay, I'm saying emp where city equal to xyz. Okay, so when I write this query, so what is this meaning of this query is I have suppose 10,000 records. Okay, and this 10,000 record, I'm searching this city XYZ, suppose only 5 records are there. So city equal to XYZ. Okay. Result is 5 records. So can you tell me how many records we have to scan? Like I will get the 5 records data. If my table has a 10,000, so how many total record I have to scan? Only 5, 10,000 or nothing to scan? Scan means to check the entire record where the city is XYZ or not.
Oh,
Action.
then 10,000
Yeah,
would have to
10,000.
check everything. Yeah.
Every row. Okay. every row, we have to check whether the city value is XYZ or not. Okay. All. So then I will come to know this particular record I have to display. Okay. Then I will display the record with the name city XYZ. Right. So if this number, if I increase by 100,000, 1 million, right? So definitely it will take time, because if suppose this one is taking time, just 45 seconds. Okay. So if I say, if I have 100,000, so definitely the time will increase. So suppose like 1 minute, 50 seconds. That's what I'm saying. Okay. The time is keep increasing, right? Time is keep increasing, right? So can I do any way, right? When I write my query, so it should not take the time. It should not take much time, right? It should be behave every time the same. It will take definitely some time. Suppose I say 5 seconds is taking. So 5 seconds it should take every time, or even maybe within 5 seconds I can get data. My 5 record I can get it out of 10,000 or 100,000. It doesn't matter. So can I do something which can make a difference, like any number of records? Like time should not increase. Okay, but here definitely time will increase, because I'm just writing a plain SQL query and nothing I'm doing on that, right? So it will every time scan the all the records, right? So there is a concept partitioning, right? If I do partitioning, if I say, suppose example, this 10,000 record, I have 100 cities data. Just I'm saying 100 cities data. So if I logically divide this data of 10,000 record, 10,000 record, 10,000 record into 100 cities partitions, logically 100 cities data. Okay, logically. So logically, and why I'm using word logically, because the data separation I should do, but it should not impact the number of record. Okay. So data remains same. The number of record will remain same. Just we make a partitions. Okay. Like first city got, suppose 10,000, 1,000 record. Okay. Like this, one city is getting, second city is getting only 800 record. 800 record. So like this calculation will come again, total calculation will become the 10,000. Okay. So that is my purpose. Okay. So if I do this, and I will create a separately one partition table. Suppose my table is, I say EMP table, the original table, the source table. I'm talking about my source table. Okay. This is my source. On top of this table, I create a one partition table. Okay. So partition table, like, okay, in EMP table, I was using a syntax. Create table like this. I'm using. Okay. The syntax will remain same. So what I do here, the one in the source table, already there is a city column is there. Okay. But when I create a one partition table on top of that, I'm creating a partition table on top of this EMP table, right? So what will be the syntax change? Okay, this will not be part of the here list of column, and this will become here partition by, and this will come here. So this is the minor change we will do, like this. Take it, the city, whatever partition is there, not only city, right? If it is a date, right? So date will come here, okay, with data type. So if I make it one table, additional table, because I cannot do this particular partitioning thing here in the normal table, right? Because I have to change the structure of the table first. Okay, I have to make a one table as a partition table. I have to tell this is my partition table, this is the normal table. Okay, because in this table the data will be completely stored as a on partition basis, right? The city number 1, XYG, separate one partition is there. City number 2, the separate partition. The number of record will never change. Number of record total count will come same 10,000 still, right? But logically, it will be storing a separation, right? Separation of the record. Okay. So what will happen after doing this partitioning, and you have to load little bit different way the data. So here you were using a load data command, right? You are loading the data to the entire table, right? There is no partition concept. This is the normal table. This is normal table. I'm telling you the difference so that you will not do the mistake, right? While you are writing data or creating table, so you understand normal table and partition table difference, right? So in the normal table, you just write a whole table data is going in a one place, correct? But when you are writing in the partition, so you have to write the data partition wise. So how to write the data partition wise? Command will be similar to this only. But in this command, in the last one partition keyword will come, actually partition, and you say my partition name is a city. So you will say city value is XYZ. If you do this way, load the data, the data will go to the one partition. Okay. So suppose I say first what I did first, I create a partition table, and the second step, I load the data manually for each partition. I have to prepare the table, right? Okay. Now there are the different ways are there. Like suppose I say these 100 cities data, I have 100 files. So that is not a one possible way, right? Okay, for 1 or 2 file or 1 or 2 partition data, I can load it. But 100 cities data, I cannot do because that is. So there is an alternate way is there. If you don't have the file, one is a file to file you are doing, right? You have 100 different files and one by one file you will load it. You will say this file is a city1. You say this is a XYG .csv file. That is the my city first city file. Second file you say I have okay PQR. This is another city. So here my city name is a PQR. So I know here which file and which city I'm going to load. Okay. So like this you will load the data. After this, then you will say select star. When you say select star from my table where city equal to PQR. When you write this and run it, it will not check any XYZ. It will what it will do, or it will directly already this data is ready-made, prepared in the table for PQR name. Okay. For other column where clause you can't use, right? Because I'm creating a partition on this. If you do on other column where clause, it means it will take the same time whatever it is doing. Okay. But when I'm doing, generally partition is decided which column is frequently used, like city, country, where the data is repeated more number of times. Generally, where clause we do like this query, right? Because if you are doing where clause, sometime name, ID, you can do. But most of the times we want to do the analytics, right? Big data analytics. So I want to see the city revenue. I want to see the country, or I say how many employees are in this particular city, how many employees are in this particular country, right? So this kind of analytics when I'm going to do, so I will be doing the city, like city or country kind of column. So if I do this query, so my data will be directly picked up from this partition, and it will be too fast, nothing to check. Because already when I created table and loaded data, that time logically partition created. Okay. When I loaded data in the PQR partition, PQR city partition, my data is prepared in the table. Okay. So just you write query and run. Within fractions of second, you will get the result because it is not doing any scanning, nothing. It is directly go to the table, and it is a partition table and get the partition directly. When you say XYG, so you will get the XYZ city, right? So this is called the static partition. Okay. This is the concept called static. Because static, why it is static is, because manually you are loading data in the partition, static way, like manual way. So manual way loading data, okay, is static partition. So two types of partitioning in Hive, static and dynamic. So I'm saying this partition is good when you have less number of partitions, right? Like when you are loading the file, okay? So, but there is a one more option is if you have large number of partitions, okay, but still your data is not in the file, the data is in the some source table. Okay, just take an example. Suppose this is your source table, this one, okay. So this table name I say not my table, I say some source table, source my table. Suppose your data is there already in this table for all the cities, all 100 cities data is there. So static partition you can do on a second way. One way is you load each file of the data and then you do your select query. Second way is insert into your table name is partition table. My partition table name is EMP. EMP, right? I'm doing EMP one, right? Partition table. What is name? I didn't give the name. So this is I'm giving a EMP table, partition table, EMP. Okay, so this is my EMP I'm doing query. This is I'm doing EMP my query. So insert into EMP and I say partition and say city equal to XYG and select ID, name, age, and city from my table. That is my source my table, source my table. And where clause I give city equal to same XYZ. So here you are not doing this part, load data, you are not doing, okay, in the partition table. But still you are doing multiple time insert command. Multiple time insert command you are doing, multiple time. Okay, but the same thing, but the repeated work is there, is still here also for 100 times, and here is also 100 times. Okay, but you don't need a 100 file here because your all 100 record data is there in this source table. So source table has 100 cities data, 100 cities data. Okay, but it is not partition data. The whole data is there, but not partition. And what you are going to do from this source table, 100 cities data table, this source table, you are going to create a partition table. And partition table is your EMP table. That is your partition table. But one by one, you have to do insert into command, right? First time you did this, second time you did for, okay, second city is a PQR city. So PQR city you did, second city. So how many times you have to run this command? Because one partition at a time, one partition loaded in a one partition. You cannot do here. This is a static one. Okay, but still you think this is very like partitions are keep increasing. You can't use this way. This way is good like a gender case, right? Male, female, right? So only two partitions are there. Okay, logically you are creating. So in that scenario, it will be a good, right? Only one is male partition and one is a female. One is male, one is female. One is male, one is female. So both the ways, either you do file to table or table to table, right? In this case, both are table. This is table and this is table, correct? But it is good, right? But still it's not good for what like 100 cities data or 15 countries data. Okay, so those scenarios is still not good. There is another partition is dynamic partition. So dynamic partition is really very good, okay, which will, everything will be same, right? The table, creation table, the same table you will create. The table is, there is no difference. The partition table is the same way you will create in the dynamic partition. Suppose you say, this is my dynamic partition table. I just give the name Dyna Okay, just a name difference because you understand this is a static and this is a dynamic. So table is, there is no difference. The same way table you created in the static, same way you create a table in the dynamic. Then where is the difference will come? Difference will come, and the dynamic partition is not from the file. It is table. Okay. So I copy this statement. In this statement, I will not give the hard-coded value. I will just remove here city, and here I will not give the where clause. That's it. Only this one line will load, this one insert will load all 100. Not only 100, right? Suppose maybe I have a 150 different cities. I cannot know, right? Like, okay, if I do query, I can know, right? Okay, these many cities are there. But suppose if I don't know, so those many number of different cities, repeated data, all will do. Okay. So one insert will load all different values, repeated data. Okay. It could be 100, 150 or 10, whatever number of city, it will identify. So the dynamic partition will automatically identify how many different cities data is there in the table. It will create those many number of partition by one single command, only one single command. But this is not direct, like there is a one configuration property you have to set in hive, like non-strict property, some non-strict property you have to enable. True. Okay, if you make it this property non-strict. Non-strict means you are saying to hive there is no restriction to load the data. So this non-strict property, once this is by default false, but if you want to enable, you will enable then dynamic partition. And one more is dynamic partition hive dot the complete property name hive dot dynamic partition equal to true. Okay, that is the one more property. So two properties are there, but this property is important. This property will allow only the dynamic partition. Otherwise, it will give the error to you. It will say either give the hard-coded value here because it is understanding it is a static. If you don't give this property, if you don't configure this property, then it will understand you are trying a static partition, but you forgot the give the value. So it will say you either set this property to make a dynamic partition, or otherwise make this city as a static. Okay, so that error is understood. You forgot either make it dynamic, or you forgot you are not doing dynamic, but you forgot here give the static value to city. Okay, so that is the error you will get. Okay. Okay, now I show you the practical way to see this static and dynamic.
Arvind, I have one question, which is non-strict and dynamic partition, are those settings in Hive SQL, like or is it just for, like, you know how you can write basically SQL but Hive SQL? Are those two settings a part of Hive SQL, the dynamic partition and non-static?
Yeah, that is the, yeah. So dynamic partition true, and this one is a part of the hive, not SQL query. It's not a SQL query. It's like a configuration property. Okay, it's
Yeah.
just like you are enabling this property when your session will be enabled, right? So you can use dynamic partition. Otherwise, it will not allow to use the dynamic. Okay.
Okay.
It will not allow the dynamic. So that's a configuration property to use dynamic partition. That's the purpose. If I don't use it, it will give you the error. If you are trying to use only city without name, without value of the city.
Hi, Arvind. I have a question.
Mm.
What if we have multiple partitions? how we can deal with it.
Multiple partitions where?
I mean, let's take an example here. If we deal with a partition by city, and inside, if we go with the year or
Okay,
age,
okay. You are saying like I want to design my table, partition table with multiple city.
yeah,
So what's your
multiples.
criteria? Suppose one way is like a nested partition thing is there, right? You say city
Yeah.
is there, country is there. So you say my country will, okay, like okay, so like say day, month, year is there, right? So like first is 2023, and inside this 2023, you say like 12 months, then inside you go, then 1, 2, 3, up to 30 days. Like this, you want to create a directories. So this partition is nothing but it's creating a directory folder. Okay. So same you say you have a city and country. So which one is the larger? Country is the larger. So country you will write first. So here the sequence is matter. So if you write country string, comma, city string. So what will happen? Country will create first and city. You never do city first and then country because city is coming in country or country is coming in the city. City is coming in the country. So larger partition you should always keep it when you want to do nested. But suppose you say both are not associated to each other, right? This could be a scenario. You say I have a one city column and one is a date column. Both are separate partition, right? Because city is separate because there is no linking. Okay, city and country is having linking, but city and date there is no link, right? Okay, but I can say linking in such a way every date, right? I want to get the city data. That way you can link. But altogether, like if you say I don't have any linking, I have a two different column and two different partitions. In that case, you have to create two partition table. One for the completely city one and completely date one. Okay. If you think there is no relation of these two different partition column, there is no relation, so you have to create a two partition table. Okay. Got my point? Only when the relation is there, right? Okay. Then only you can define which one will come first and which one will come second, right? So that is called nested partition. Nested.
I mean, how we can query the data if we have a nested
So
partition?
and clause you will use now, like generally in the normally how will you use? Like I say city XYG is there, normal query. This is my normal query without partition. So I say country India. So I'm saying like this way I'm doing where the city is this and country is this. Okay. So in the nested partition case also, you will be adding your second partition in the where clause. Like suppose after the partition, like your query is this. So here.
But yeah, it's when it is querying, we don't have a. I mean, when it is sharing to the folders, I mean,
it will find it automatically. The partition is creating the folder. Suppose my folder structure, how it will be, my DB is there, my DB.db, right? After that, my EMP table will come, correct? My partition table name, EMP is my partition table. After that, what it will do, suppose I'm using country and city together, okay? Both are the partition. So it will create a like country equal to India, because I know, right, what are the partitions are there. Already I have loaded data, right? So automatically it will create this structure. Country equal to India is a partition. That is a folder name. This is a folder name look like this. Then city one will be city equal to XYZ. So whatever data you are loading, right? So it will create this structure in the folder, right? In the location.
Yeah, that's right.
When you do where clause, now where clause comes. So what it will do when you say this clause, you are giving this query, right, in the partition table. So what it will do, it will pick whatever way you give. It doesn't matter. City you give first, or here is not a problem, right? Because this is selected. There is no restriction. Okay.
But on a query, I mean, as you mentioned, it's city started first, right? And on the time, how it will deal the query?
This one is when you are loading data, it will create it. Okay.
Okay.
This is you are doing when you finding the result, right? By after creating partition table, after loading data, then only you are getting data. That time it will check.
I mean, when we are inserting also, we get problem, right?
Why is the problem insert time?
When we are inserting, we have to specify city as well as country,
how
right?
you are loading data. Inserting time, you are saying here, right? how
Mhm.
multiple partition you are saying, na? Right? So you will
Yeah.
see comma separated, but here you have to remember, right? Country I will give first and city I will give second. So this is the sequence you have to maintain while loading the data or while creating the table. So everywhere the 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 partition column sequence should be correct. Okay, Abhi, right now only
Okay,
city is
got
there.
it.
Suppose
Got
country
it,
comes,
got
so
it.
country will come here first, and even the partition also the country will come first here. Otherwise, it will confuse, right? Okay. Correct.
Yeah,
So
that's
this okay. So this sequence in the create table or insert into table or load data command, right? Both should be syncing. Okay. But when you are doing the select query, there is no restriction. Okay, it will check both the ways, right? Which ways the data is there, it will check it. Okay, even if you give city first, it will check it. It will check it.
okay, fine. Thank you.
Okay. First type is smart audit service. First, I show you the example of okay. So I will give you the document. Okay. So I have a one static partition. So what I'm doing here, I have a two sections, section A, section B. Okay, two different files are there. So here is the column name is student name, father name, and percentage. And partition is there on the section. You know in the class, right? Section A, section B, right? Like that way is there. Okay. So this is my partition table. So my partition table name is student 1, 2, and I'm doing this row format delimited partition by. Okay. So this is my partition table I'm creating. So here in this I will use row data. I will use my DB because I was working in my DB row table. So these are the earlier tables. Okay. So now, first of all, I'm going to create this student 1, 2 table. This is my static. This is my partition table. So you understood here is the this clause, right? This is the partition clause, right? The hive cell, you will be creating a table. Row table, your table is created, right? But this table is empty. Let's start from and there is no data. Okay, so I will create a two sections file. Okay, the one section is section A and section B. Okay, just the dummy data is. So I'm creating a cat command. I say section A. Okay, and I will paste control B. Same cat section B. Right. So I know this particular data is section A. That is the reason I have in the file in section A. Right. Okay. So next one is section B. Section B. section B, I created a file. Now, you know this same thing I will do, how to load the data into partition. So load data local command, and last you have partition name. So when I come here in the hive table, yeah. So here I have to change my path, right? Because my file is a different location. So what is my location? My location is not there. The location is hive test mode. My hive test mode. File name is same. And this is the same table. And I'm just writing the data in my table with the name section A. I want to, when I query, so which column value I will use the query? A, where section equal to A, like this I will do. Okay. So I load the data. Thing is one. Data. So when you copy paste data, this single code doesn't work. Okay, because when I copy pasted data from, okay, the data is loaded. Second one is B. Section B, simply you do B, and you have to change here section B, because different file is there, right? Okay, so you loaded data for the section B. Now if I do query, like last time I was doing query select, and where I give section A. So this data is coming from the partition, like this. So it will not showing very quick, right? Because the data size is only 2 records. When you do practical, like, okay, 100,000, 10,000, you will see the difference. Okay, when you do B, this is a static part. Okay, so this is the one way we tested. Okay, so we created a table, we created a files, then loaded a files into the both separate partition and then select query. Okay, the second way, okay, your 8 o'clock time is okay. So will we continue tomorrow? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just check it out. Okay. So tomorrow we'll.
Sure, Arvind.
Okay,
Sure,
I'll
Arvind.
say. Okay.
Hey, Arvind, one doubt. What is the time for tomorrow's class?
Yeah, it's your time, 9 o'clock.
Okay,
Like 11 EST.
11 EST, right? Okay, thank you.
Okay, Arvind, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.